Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Slam.
Yeah, but isn't this the unplugged version? I don't know. I think it's the unplugged version. All right, Paulie, let's go. All right, listen, y'all. Just go ahead and let the guest play. Come on, jeez. That's better. Where'd I go?
Well, hello. Good morning, good day, and possibly good evening to wherever you may be. Paulie here, and it is a live show happening at our time, 1:15 in the AM, technically Friday morning, and we are back home from what? From checking out. Let me see. I'm trying to get this light going on here. Help give me some facial light. Killers of the August moon, of the flower moon. Killers of the flower moon, and I had left the theater. I would say less than an hour ago. That sucker was long. So we do have a non-spoiler reaction. This will be a spoiler talk, but I think what I want to do is bring up. I'm going to give you my overall non-spoiler thoughts, and then I want to bring up images from the movie, and whatever that image I see, I will talk about it. So it'll be very non-linear. So hope you're doing well. I'm here with you on a late night, or Monica S. It's 10:15 a.m. here. Yay! Get you on a live stream. Why isn't that amazing? Isn't that lovely? And my man Deleted Scenes is here. I know it is. It's got to be a little after 4 in the morning for you. A little after 4 in the morning. So, let me fix this. I'm trying to fix this. This light. Anyways, good to have you guys here. We haven't done one of these. I haven't done anything live after midnight. A minute. But I'm glad you guys are hanging out here. So yeah, let's talk non-spoiler for us for a minute. Let me see that spoilers. Where's the non-spoiler thing? God, I got so many banners. Let's type non. Killers of the. Let me ask you guys this: do you guys have any? Before I give you my review and all that stuff, do you have any desire to see this film in the theater? Killers of the Flower Moon. Or are you going to wait to see it when it comes on Apple. I think it's going to come on Apple TV in a few weeks. So that's like kind of like my first question to you guys. Are you planning to see this at all? Is there any hype, any love that you have, excitement, joy? I don't know what for a new Martin Scorsese film. I gotta tell you, his last one, The Irishman, I was not a fan of. I was not a fan of. Uh, I can say it's better than The Irishman. can we can we say that it is better than The Irishman? Um, okay. Let me trying to find my trying to find your light late at night. Good luck. There, that's a little better. That's much better. That's much better. Okay, Killers of the Flower Moon is a 3.5 hour, you know, epic storytelling drama from director Martin Scorsese, and it tells a story, a point in time in history that really happened in the 1920s, about 100 years ago, to where the Osage people, after they had been pushed out of their original ancestral homelands in the East, I believe it was Missouri. They were given land. They were given land in Oklahoma that nobody wanted, and in the 20s they struck oil, and so they became very wealthy. In fact, I think there was a news clip saying like they were the wealthiest people in the world or something, per capita or something. Um, and what happens when um, some insidious types take advantage and want to get that oil money, and that that's really kind of, without going deep into this huge story, that's really what it's about, and it spans it spans several years, but it starts, I believe, in 1921, and this is history. Now, this particular story, I as far as history, I did not know the history, and it certainly was illuminating. Not surprising, not surprising. As far as this being part of our collective American history. So, um, Martin Scorsese says this is very personal for him. It was, something he's been wanting to do for years, and so I did read that. It stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, uh, Lily Gladstone, and who's that other gentleman? Jesse Plemons. Then it also has some smaller supporting appearances from Tantu Cardinal, John Lithgow, Brandon Fraser, and then a slew of native actors, because Lily Gladstone's character Molly has a lot of sisters. So yeah, fantastic cast, and the runtime. Let me get the full runtime here. 3 hours and 25 minutes. So my feelings as far as a non-spoiler situation is that it's a good film. There's some great moments. There's some great performances, It's for me, it's definitely not one of Scorsese's my favorite one of his. It's probably uh yeah, and for me, I just felt it drag in that middle hour. I thought that first hour was excellent, kind of laying out the world the way Scorsese does with all these moving characters, all these moving parts. And then that final hour, at least that final hour, maybe even more, really kicks into gear with when where it's almost been 2 hours of murders, and then finally the feds show up. The investigation starts. A different change in energy to where where the end of the story goes to. So that I really liked. That I really liked. I did feel that that middle hour just dragged. It was almost repetitive, even as far as um, uh, the the story of who they're going to kill next, who they're going to kill next, and it was almost a little predictable, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's still great storytelling. It's still it's still Scorsese, but it, that runtime is easily for me a half hour too long, at least a half hour too long. So that was just my only kind of you know glaring thing. And like I said, it really picked up that last hour and a half. Really, just a change in tone. I want to say also too, Rodrigo Prieto was the DP. The movie looks amazing. Robbie Robertson, who I believe, let me just double check here, guys. Yeah. So the great musician Robertson, who passed away just a few months ago, and he was a musician, songwriter, um, played with Dylan, and of course was a key member of the band. He did the music for this. He did the score for this movie. And the score was absolutely incredible. The music was absolutely incredible. So that was a nice touch. There was a lot of nice touches there. So yeah, I think you guys are getting a sense of kind of my my take on the film. Really good, some brilliant parts. Let's talk. And I already told you the con for me as far as that middle half, that middle part. I okay, and let me tell you one more just kind of thing I wasn't like wowed over was Robert De Niro's performance. It was standard De Niro, and it's it's a obviously it's he's a villain in this film. He's not a good dude, but I almost feel that I've seen it before from De Niro. I've seen it before from De Niro and Scorsese, in fact. So, but I will say the performance of Leonardo DiCaprio was what makes this captivating at times. His the role of Ernest, and who is basically a simpleton that comes to find work after the war at his uncle's cattle ranch, in Osage. There were times where I did not recognize DiCaprio's regular face. the expressions, the grief, the anguish, the emotions he was going through just almost at times contorted his face, and it was great to watch. It was great to watch, and he is. I will tell you right now. I'll tell you right now. Also, it's not a likable story, right? It's a very bittersweet ending, and it is a very kind of like just the a sad part on our humanity as far as how people can the lengths that they'll go to justify any kind of their morals or principles to get what they wanted, and in this case, was that oil, that money. Just, man, it was not fun. And I think, unlike, let's say, like a Goodfellas, um where really they were their own demise and they kind of backstabbed each other. They were gangsters backstabbing each other, and you never really got connected to anyone who was innocent in the film. Uh, as far as Goodfellas, they were more like kind of in and out really quickly. As far as kind of like civilians that were affected by the gangsters, it was really about Henry Hill and his compadres, uh, and how they maneuver in the world, and then eventually their demise. So here you get a little bit of of that kind of like power dynamic from De Niro in company, but who they're taking advantage of. I mean, these are innocents. These are and when I say innocents, meaning they're just civilian people that happen to become incredibly wealthy. So that was a trip. That was a trip. Better if it hey deleted. Oh, okay. Okay, so um that's non-spoilers right now, and what we're going to do is bring up some photos, and what I will do is kind of like, oh, this happened here, and I will say also too, it's a huge supporting cast and some great character actors, just some great character actors that it was really cool to see them work. Okay, who's here? And Goober's here. I thought it was better crafted than Oppenheimer. Loved the heartbeat score. I thought it was better crafted than Oppenheimer. Huh. Yeah, but still had a major pacing problem for me. And whereas it was better crafted in that it was definitely more layered, more more characters, more story, so with that, more of their individual stories. So yes, but I think with Oppenheimer, you were just so taken away by by the lead's performance, and then the kind of like the trial of it. But yeah, I hear you. What concerns me, does the story sustain the length? Ah, I mean, for me, I can't say it does, but maybe I was maybe because I saw it at 8:15 p.m. in the evening. So perhaps I'll go see it again in a few weeks at an earlier time. But you know, I think so with that, I think any movie that's over 3 hours needs an automatic intermission. I don't know why theaters and people don't, these studios don't do it. The Indian films that I've seen always have an intermission, and it just kind of refreshes you for a minute, and you can hit that last half of that movie. So it's a lot to ask from an audience. Oppenheimer was a lot to ask as well. It's just this was even longer. So yeah, man, yeah, I want to say yes and no. Better if it could have been spoiler free. Well, go check out my spoiler free review that's up right now. That's more of a reaction. Hello from New Zealand. Is the movie worth watching? Yeah, it's definitely worth watching. It's just, I liked it. I loved some parts. I thought the lead performances were brilliant. I think Lily Gladstone was, it's a very, with Lily, it's a very, very Late Night with Paulie. What's up, awesome one? Yes. I think with Lily Gladstone's performance, she's very understated to where Leonardo and De Niro almost come off as, over the top. De Niro more. But there's a maternal beauty and warmth to Lily Gladstone that I really, really liked. And she really grew on me, and she had some good stuff. Again, I didn't think, for me, I didn't think it was, blow me away kind of Oscar performance, but it was good. Leo, hands down. I also want to say that this is very much not a film from the Osage point of view. This is a Scorsese film, right? It's just a Scorsese film on the, like we said, how far people go to gain that brass ring in America. The things that we do to each other, and he's done this. He's shown this before from Goodfellas, Casino, So, yeah, on that I really dug it. Okay, with the similar running times, the two films pacing pretty much opposite. You can see how Scorsese could have done a Goodfellas Casino type edit, but I enjoyed how it bred and slowly developed. Listen, I don't want to get into going back and forth. I just don't agree. There was actually, as far as Goodfellas Casinos, laying out the exposition at the beginning of the movie, it's basically Goodfellas Casino. That's what he does. And there's not a quiet scene really until the two are at the dinner table, the two leads. So in that way, there was that intro into the movie, which I liked. Again, that middle part just dragged, and at the end, it picked up with that as well. Daniel T, what up? How much Paulie suffered just with this length? Well, this is what I did do. I purposely showed up late for the trailers because I didn't want to sit through a half-hour trailer. So by the time I sat down, I think I watched 2 trailers and then the movie started, because that would have killed me. That would have killed me, man. So yeah, thanks for being here, guys. Awesome one, thank you. Okay, let's go to some spoilers, and let's bring this up. Members of the Osage tribe in the United States are murdered under mysterious circumstances in the 1920s, sparking a major FBI investigation involving J. Edgar Hoover. Well, it's just by name, right? It's like the beginning of the FBI. They never say Federal Bureau of Investigations. It's kind of like, the federal government sent me, so to speak. But listen, that's not a big deal. Okay, so like we've been talking about. Mm. Oh yeah, guys, there is a pinned message, and if you guys be so kind, want to help support the slant, PayPal tip, way better than YouTube. I'll tell you right now, and you'll help pay for the popcorn. I will have that window open so I can read your comments. If anyone sends me a super chat, I will read it. Send me a PayPal super chat. I will read it. Thank you so much. Get some water in here. Okay. Robert De Niro plays the uncle and patriarch of this white family in Osage. At the beginning of the movie, William Hale to Leonardo DiCaprio's Ernest Burkhart. And when Leo comes to town, he's very much a war veteran, kind of borderline alcoholic, simpleton, looking for a new path, a new journey, or just uh, just a calling because he has none. And so you get really quickly that William Hale is kind of the guy that runs the town. He's the puppet master, right? Even knows the Osage language, is in tight with them, considers to be one of them. And you get a sense right away that there is there's some balance as to some intermarriage, some and there's an semblance of some some balance in that society, in that town, that everyone gets along, and they gets along to the point to where, like, they're intermarried, they do these events together, uh their native events, and there's a camaraderie, and that goes away as the story is told. And you do see almost kind of like more white invaders, white settlers coming in, because there's oil, and you see the landscape booming with oil riggers. So it's that is quite a, since the cinematography, I do recommend you go see it, because this Rodrigo Prieto is just an incredible DP. Okay, so that's that photo. Okay. Jesse Plemons plays Tom. Let me get this. Let me get his character's name. Tom White. Fantastic character. And what happened here? This is later in the film. Maggie and her tribe actually went to Washington, D.C., and pleaded with Calvin Coolidge, the president at the time, to send help. We're getting murdered. I think there was like almost 30 murders at that point. And Jesse Plemons comes with his crew. They are their earliest incarnate of the feds. So this is like early Untouchable style, Elliot Ness, where they start poking around town. And here's the first time that Tom confronts De Niro, and at this point in the film, William Hale, De Niro's character, he sees the writing on the wall. He knows he could go down, and he is trying to tie up loose ends as much as he can, and that means including uh taking care of some of the henchmen he hired in the past to do some of his dirty work, a la Goodfellas. There's a couple of cool little montages where he does that. I did enjoy that. Jesse Plemons always delivers some solid acting. This is a good role for him. He's confrontational, he's kind, he also kind of he drives the 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 machine in sense as far as getting his man, but yet isn't inhumane. So good character here, unlike William here. Dude's so bad, man. Lily Gladstone and sisters. I have to tell you that the look of the film, again, they did a fantastic job. Here they are. This is early on in the film because they're all still alive. By the end of the film, yeah, guys, she loses all her sisters. Yeah, man. One we don't get to know too well. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta change this. Sorry, guys. Spoilers. Wait, hold on. I'm so sorry, guys. Spoilers, guys. Spoilers. Okay. My bad. So you can see from here the beauty and grace that Lily Gladstone commands, and I get that on her on-screen presence. Again, it's very unusual and it's different. We haven't seen someone like this in a long time, which I really appreciate. Does a great job. Here is at a celebration early on with the three sisters. So this is what I do really think is cool, is that it shows in the story the Osage really embracing the American 20s and success. I mean, they have drivers, they got maids, they have houses, they have, I guess it's a weekly allotment of money because everyone has a lot. Everyone's got a plot. I mean, these are now very wealthy people. And so with that in regards, I do like that again, it's a true story. These guys became the wealthiest people in America. Another thing that was interesting is they were showing and talking about sickness with the Osage, whether it is from disease, from depression, from alcoholism to diabetes. The Scorsese talks about it, covers it, and yeah, I felt that. I felt that was a really good touch. And what we get is these people, they banded together when the murders got to be too much. So I will say this, in the end, the Osage Nation survived. So that is a very happy thought. And they're thriving now, and I love that, but what pretty rough what they had to go through. Okay, we got here. That's Scorsese with Lily Gladstone. I will tell you guys this, at the beginning of the movie, in fact, before the movie, s- they show us a speech from Martin Scorsese saying, "Thank you for being here. This is the movie, and it means a lot to me. I'm very honored to do it and get the okay from the Osage people." You know what? I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I thought that was a little too pandering, a little too, you know, let's protect ourselves. Hey, I know I'm not Osage, but they said I could do it, and it means a lot to me. I'm kind of surprised that he did that type of speech before and they put it before the film. You always let your work speak for yourself. Scorsese shouldn't have to say shit about his work. So I thought that was just like, it took me out before this movie began. I'm like, okay, did you get backlash because you're going to do the film? Um, yeah, yeah. Eh, Now, I will say this: one of the finer moments in the film is the very ending where Scorsese comes on as the radio man, uh, which is a really nice touch. I'm gonna, I'll give the ending out at towards the end of this stream. Here, let's check out some more photos. Oops. Hmm. So this is early on, and this is the first job that Leonardo's character does. It's all also established that he's kind of physically handicapped from the war, so he can't do heavy lifting. So he drives a cab, and I believe it's one of De Niro's cab companies, and he gives Lily's character Maggie a ride. And there is a kind of playful connection that they had and sense of humor because she sees him a mile away. She calls him a coyote hunting for money in her language, but she thinks he's handsome, and that's her downfall, because he basically is a coyote, whether he knows it or not, and at the end, um, he grapples with that. You know, I really didn't feel that they didn't want. I really didn't feel that Scorsese wanted us to like or feel empathetic towards Leonardo's character. He was slime. He did a great job, and he got his just dessert. So, you know, that being said, you felt a little for him because he was kind of a gullible guy, uh, and he did love Lily in this, but yeah, Maggie's character, Maggie, but the shit he did. I mean, he basically killed her sister. Oof. Yeah, man. Okay, let me see what else is here. This was in the last hour of the film. This is where everything's desperate. And this is almost, again, this is very much like a Godfather, excuse me, like a Goodfellas, where De Niro gives kind of like, I love you, but now if you get arrested, I have to turn my back. But before I turn my back, sign this paperwork so the family's money, your family's money, goes to me. And that's all ultimately what De Niro's character cared about, was that we're going to intermarry into all these Osage people, systematically kill them off. We get all the money, we get all the power. And here he's saying you're probably going to get arrested, but I got you. I got your back. But sign this paper. Leonardo is just he's just a mess. He's just a mess. Uh, as this goes along, his conscience starts getting to him. Right. This is fairly early on. They are not a couple yet. This is a lovely scene where I believe this is his first time in the house, and she fed him. And it is established that she has a diabetic problem. And it is established that her people have a diabetic problem with white people food. Now a storm happens, and he goes and closes the windows, and she's like, no, keep them open, come and sit. And she says, the storm is powerful, and we need to take a moment and listen and breathe, because the storm is powerful. That was a great moment. There was some great moments like that. And I really, this, when they're together, the film really really is unique. The other parts where it's kind of like, hiring the henchmen, doing this crime, doing that crime, it's good, right? Don't get me wrong, it's good. It's just I've seen it before from Scorsese. To me, this relationship is rather unique. Okay, that's the actors, red carpet. Let's get out of the photos. Let me see if we can get some more on-set photos. So apparently there's like hundreds of photos. Where's that one? There's usually that layout where they have all the photos. Well, this is good. Here we go. Yeah, Paul Dano's not in this movie. I'm like, wait a minute. See, I don't want the red carpet. I don't need any of that crap. Okay, well, I was hoping to get more set photos. Oh, here we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Let me see. Okay, this is a Tantu Cardinal. She's appeared in Dance with Wolves. She plays a sickly mom, and she has some really sweet moments of visions of of an owl, and the owl is a bad omen. The owl means death is coming, and she gets it. Then Maggie's character gets it. So she's got some fine moments, and she sees what's going on. She's rather helpless, but she's rather helpless in the sense that she's like, we shouldn't be intermingling and intermarrying with these white people. They're evil. I mean, that was a great, yeah, that was a great, she had some great moments. And of course, her death was rather beautiful because she opens her eyes from her deathbed, and then she sees, I believe, either a sage warrior from the past, because he's all donned in red paint, and then two older people who I want to say were probably her parents, and they basically, without any words, say, "Come with us," and that's where they go ascend. That was pretty cool. That was very cool. There's Brendan Fraser as the defense lawyer. He was a crack up. Like he had really only a couple scenes. Same thing with Lithgow. They were solid. Ooh. Cara Jade Myers was fantastic as, I believe, was it April? Is that her name? The sister? She was the wild gun toting rich sister who always spoke her mind. And yeah, that was it. Let me look up the name. It might have been Annie, because yeah, I think because she named her daughter Annie. I think you're right. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me open up a separate window so we don't keep doing that. And we'll get the cat. We'll get that way. I kind of keep looking at this. Thank you guys for joining me. We're hanging out, doing a unconventional, I would say, non-linear review of Killers of the Flower Moon. And of course, the killers are De Niro and company. Uh, the Flower Moon. Um, there's a moment where they did some beautiful explaining of the the kind of like the Osage history a little bit really quickly, and anything like that they did really well. They did really well. And where they sprinkled flowers on the earth, and the moon, like, chased the sun, and that stuff reminded me a lot of uh of the Mexica and the Mayan deities, in regards to the sun and the moon, like with a lot of our you know um indigenous cultures. So okay, all right, let's make this big. She was absolutely fantastic. Let's get her. I got the cast list up, and of course now I can't find her. Where's the sister? Oh, Annie Brown. Yep, Cara Jade Myers. Um, yeah, man, she was taken out really pimp style. I mean, I got to tell you, man. This there's a lot of classic Scorsese, like, gangster shit in here. It's just in Oklahoma, in a small little town, and eh, and with these you know characters. It was just her character was just great, man. Fantastic. Top 5 Scorsese movies. Oh, that would be a good video to do. That would be a good video. I heard the movie is different than what was in the trailers. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, yes and no. Um, I would say, let me think about that. Let me think about that. Get some more photos here. Yeah, okay, so this character played by Luis Chancelmi was basically a man who married into you know an Osage, but was not a good dude and not a smart dude, to where he kind of told what the crime that he wanted to commit. He's kind of an idiot. And his character is Kelsey Morrison. He was pivotal in bringing down De Niro, when they caught everybody. So, yeah. Okay. He's got a very quick character. He was just a local, and this old dude was the kind of like the funeral home. He's more of a furniture guy, right? Your general store furniture and his furniture goods, right? Coffins. And here he's trying to charge um, uh, Ernest Leo's character, but he's arguing that hey, you're charging me Osage prices. So basically, they price gouge the Osages. Here's some feds, and these are this actor you've seen you've seen around a lot. Is it Michael Abbott Jr.? When they come to town, and again, these two are great at questioning these people who've committed these crimes, and they're kind of like, oh, that's Pat Healy. Excuse me, Pat Healy. Pat, great character actor, been in a lot of stuff. And they're basically speaking for us because they're kind of like, yeah, so how did you do that autopsy again? You're trying to find that bullet in Annie's head and you chopped her up? I mean, they literally like going to all the different culprits, including, the town doctors. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Oh, this is early on. This is at this is at Maggie's wedding, and this is the first sister who passes away from being sick, and you get later on how and they were able to keep these women sick and eventually have them die at a young age. Really sad, really, really sinister. De Niro's character is pretty sinister. Those are the two doctors. Great casting. Great casting. This is an interesting character. This gentleman, Tatanka Means. Is he Russell Means' son? Kind of interesting. He's a native who's with the feds. And he comes in and helps get some his dad is Russell Means. Wow, the great actor and activist Russell Means. So this which is funny enough, so this character, he did a great job. He had a great presence. His father in real life was Russell Means, and Russell Means, a little bit of film history. He played the dad in Last of the Mohicans. He played Daniel Day-Lewis's stepdad, the indigenous father. He was fantastic. Wow, great job, cool, great character, and he really helps. Again, he's one of the feds, and he really gets a lot of intel from the Osage. Daniel T says, I don't know if I will see in the theaters. On one hand, I saw the Dolby Theater. I would watch it. Watching in Dolby, on the other hand, is a Runtime Plus trailers. I like being theater early, so don't have to climb over people with popcorn. Well, Daniel T, it's an event, and I saw it at a Dolby screen. I didn't want to see it in IMAX. I didn't want to see it in regular. I'm sure regular would have been fine. I got the Dolby screen. I got at the edge. I was on the right side of the aisle, first seat, because in case I had to use the restroom. Amazing. I didn't have to use the restroom at all. And it's a beautiful looking film, and it's really well done. So just saying. He played a great agent just behind into the crowd and observed everything. Yeah, there were some really cool moments, especially like they would have those Main Street thoroughfare celebrations and scenes where you see the cast celebrating in the foreground and in the background, and when Leo's there, De Niro's there, this character's there, and you're seeing Scorsese pull focus and forcing you, which forces us to like, oh, where he's focusing the camera changes. So we got to follow that camera. Really cool. Really cool. All right. Well, I hope you're enjoying our spoiler review of Killers of the Flower Moon. We'll go through a couple more of these and we'll wrap it up. Sturgill Simpson plays a famous rodeo bull rider and part-time criminal. And he's hired by De Niro. And he gets his demise from De Niro. Very Goodfellas style towards the end. So just, they happen to be good old boys, making moonshine and hanging out in the hills there. Maggie hires this gentleman as a private detective. So this is the first time that the Osage people are trying to take some action in regards to, hey, our people are dying. I don't know what's going on. Sheriff's not helping. The cops aren't helping. Let's hire a private detective, and that's just this gentleman. He's not too successful because De Niro and Leonardo and his brother's character, they beat the shit out of him, and you never hear from him again. But he had a moment. Didn't really do too much, but if anything, it showed that the Osage people were trying to be proactive. This character is great. Blackie, Tom Schultz. And this is another henchman baddie that De Niro hires, does some of his crimes, does his dirty work, but he's promised these things from DiCaprio's character, doesn't come through, gets in, goes does some jail time for another crime, and the feds bring him in, and he's like, yeah, screw these guys. Oh yeah, he was great. Try to find his character's name. Tommy Schultz. What a name. And he, his look was so, he's got such a dynamic face. So on the screen, man, he looked great. Reminded me a lot of Raul Trujillo in Blue Beetle and in Apocalypto. It's like, wow, what a striking face. Oh, Tommy Schultz. All right, well, we can't find his character. That's okay. Okay. Pete Yorn plays another one of De Niro's baddies, and this guy is the guy that makes bombs. And I think he's got a couple of lines, really. That's really it, But it's interesting because Pete Yorn is a singer-songwriter. So yeah, he did fine. And they hire, in this cast, it's a couple of singer-songwriters now that I see this. Sturgill Simpson, songwriter and actor. Pete Yorn. And Jack White is a radio show announcer. Gotcha. Okay. That was a real cameo. Hey, what's up, girlfriend? Much love to everyone. We're doing a late one, man. We're doing a late one. Hi. Good to have you here. Reviewing Killer of the Flower Moon. Killers. This gentleman was the one who allotted the money to the Osage people. Was really it. He had a couple scenes, but what was interesting about that is that you got to see how their system worked, how their system was set up, and how they were allotted their weekly money. They had to have if it was restricted or not competent, all these different levels they were in. They didn't explain. It was kind of like in the dialogue, she kept saying, Maggie, non-competent, let me have my money. So yeah, he was a clan leader. The clan was It was funny because the clan was treated as just like, oh yeah, the local, the local boys. They didn't he didn't hide his face. So I thought that was pretty strange. That And thank you for being a member for 28 months, my love. Okay, what do we got here? Oh man, this guy Ty Mitchell was great. This was a great character because he did not want anything to do with these crimes, but they kept pushing him to do these jobs. And you know, and was it him when Jesse Plemons and them said, it's like, we got the bag on you, man. We got everything on you. It's like, no, you don't. Who told you that? And then they show him Leo. Is it him that says, you know, grab your pencil or something like that? Like basically, I'm gonna tell you everything. That was pretty funny, but yeah, he was great. A lot of characters, man. A lot of characters. Oh God, this was William Ballou, the character, the actor. Let's go back. The actor and the character William. What did he? He was so good. This was a very sad character. He basically was suffering from major depression and tried to self-delete. Henry and De Niro had a close relationship, so we thought, but he just wanted William's money because he was worth $25,000. And this gentleman meets his end by the Ty Miller character, who never wanted to do the murder, but was pressured to do it. I think what was interesting about this character is, besides the Fed, who was a really smaller character, this guy represented the Osage men at the time, because they really weren't prominent in the film. Right? This guy had his own storyline, and it was pretty depressing because as far as his life, so everything from him being suicidal, depressed, and an alcoholic. So they were telling that story with this character. Let's do a couple more, and we'll wrap it up. When Yancey Red Corn, when these gentlemen were together, when they had their meetings, it was very impressive, very powerful. They just, I like those scenes. I like those scenes a lot, and they were just trying. They were realizing the evil that they invited in by taking this money from oil, because they basically said this money is evil and it's bringing evil in. We have to stop it. You know, And those were some great scenes. Yeah, a lot was improvised. A lot was improvised from what I hear. Okay. Jason Isbell, and this is another really good character. Jason married into the family. His wife, the sister dies, and he marries another one. And help me out here. He marries the other sister. Now, the other sister, he's the one where they get bombed, right? They're blown away. But he's got great scenes with Leonardo, with Ernest, because he can't stand Ernest. And Ernest can't stand him. I gotta tell you, I think this character played he was basically like Ernest's character, but he wasn't. He was more of the conscience of Leo, and they had some really interesting dialogue with each other because he was basically checking Ernest. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. It was interesting though, Goober, because there was a scene where he's grieving the sister's dead, and it's like it's the wake, and he asked Leonardo's character, he asked Ernest to step out of the house. I don't want you inside here. So that was crazy, man. That was well done. There's De Niro, solid as ever. Great character. Again, what you would expect from De Niro. I think for me, the guy that took it was Leo and the stuff he was doing with Ernest. This was creepy because he's there with the sister. She's dying. She's this is at a wedding, and she is completely unhappy and unhealthy, and he's already praying for her soul. Like yeah, man, he's pretty much the evil incarnate in this film. Yeah, this was a pretty heavy scene. God. And that's the thing too, guys, is that there's a lot of this. There's a lot of unhappiness, a lot of sadness from the crimes committed. So, it's not like, oh, this is cool, and it's Goodfellas in the sense like, yeah, we like the gangsters. Don't like these people. Here's a shot of the main street there. And there's Lily Gladstone. The more I think about it, the more I am really taken with her. She's rather unique. She's really great job on the casting. This is a blessing ceremony when they name the daughter, and gives her Osage name, which they establish again. Scorsese does a really fine job of establishing some of the basic Osage traditions and how they're losing it because it's literally getting whitewashed because whites are intermarrying into these families. So it's a trip. It's a trip. Okay, well, I think that's it. I think that's it. Um Glad you guys saw this. Glad you guys are here with me. Um Hope you enjoyed our spoiler review. The non-spoiler is up on our page. That's just me going in and out of the theater earlier tonight. And here's this more kind of just digging into these characters and to the sense of what I got. I will timestamp this so people could jump around. Again, to me, this is the heart of the movie, the relationship with these two when they're on screen together. I wanted, it's kind of funny. I actually wanted more of them. You know, I guess I'm used to the Scorsese kind of does the crimes. So when I saw them, they're like, cool. But I could have done less with that. It's just weird, man. I don't know. I don't know. I want to thank you guys for being here. Thank you to all our new subscribers, people coming on through. Happy Friday. Just finished the book, Heartbreaking Story. Oh man, Teenage Wasteland. I think I'm gonna order it as well. Take care, awesome one. You will be called runs with premise. Yeah, Tatanka. Cool. I was gonna do one more just so I could clip. I want to, guys. I want to react to the Ferrari trailer. I haven't seen it yet. The trailer, and I'm a huge Michael Mann fan. So Ferrari trailer just dropped. I haven't seen it yet. Of course, it stars Adam Driver, Adam the Driver. Let's check this out. There's a lot I like of this. I like that they're gonna have younger Enzo racing. I think that is exciting. I think that's absolutely exciting. I like the dialogue. There's meaning behind it, as far as two objects can't occupy the same space at the same point in time. Being cars, it can mean relationships, it can mean people, it can mean competitors. That's pretty cool. And of course, um, uh, everything except for the kind of that CGI going up in the air, that didn't look too good. Everything else from everything else was nice. Michael Mann, it looked really good. And then I guess there's a go beat them. There's going to be a little bit of a final race. Yeah, I don't I don't know if his life warrants this, but hey, there was Ford versus Ferrari. That was fantastic. Who am I? Will I give it a shot? Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Why not? Mamma mia. What are you gonna do? And Ferrari and Enzo and Penelope Cruz. All right. What do you guys think? Let me know. Let me know. I did see. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Lore, hey, so Courtney. Right? It didn't look right. It didn't. Wait a minute. I gotta. Forget about it. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? I'm gonna drive. I'm gonna drive this car. And Ferrari. Lots of close-ups. That's when there's lots of close-ups. That means you trust your actors and they're doing good stuff. Good makeup. He looks like Enzo. Yeah, he really does. That it look good. It looks fantastic. Interesting. Pretty sure I got a different cut. Hey, forget about it. Hey, ooh. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Adam Driver and Penelope playing Italians. I mean, I know you're joking, but what Italian actors would you get that can open up a movie with Michael Mann? That's the thing. I plan to see it. I give my hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know what I did see tonight? The trailer I did see is the second trailer for Napoleon. And I got to tell you, I'm very excited to see Napoleon. You got Joaquin Phoenix, you got Vanessa Kirby. The visuals look insane. The acting looks fantastic. Is the second trailer was really, really outstanding. So I did make it to see the second trailer of Napoleon. Have you guys seen Napoleon? Napoleon. I really hope Heat 2 is decent. I have the book. It's pretty good. I got to finish it. And you just knew it's like, okay, it's going to be a movie. And then sure enough, I think he wants Adam Driver to play Macaulay. I love Joaquin. So do I. Very unique dude. All right, guys. I'm going to get some Z's. Much love to you guys. I will be back with some videos tomorrow. We've been putting up we've been getting some great reactions from the videos we've been putting up this week. So that's always good. All right, my friends. Well, if you can, share this review out. Let people know that we were up all night doing this. All right, let's play the closing credits and get on out of here. Get on out of here. Oh.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all.
Okay, remember next week, guys,
Is this the unplugged version?
we're having a horror night, movie night.
I think it's the unplugged version.
The movie is The Convent from the year 2000, starring Adrian Barbeau. And director Mike Mendez is going to be with us watching his horror movie called The Convent. That is next Wednesday, I believe. Next Wednesday night. Okay, so make sure that you are with us for that one. And then I'm working on some guests for our other live shows. And of course, Working. We got a big surprise coming up. All right, guys. Be well. Much love. Hey, your Muslim uncle. Good night. Daniel T. Good night. Buenas noches. Deleted scenes. Good morning as well. Argyle did look awesome. It did look awesome. Teenage Wasteland. It's Courtney, Goober, Daniel T. Thank you, everyone. Be well.